Alright, so we're ready to spray this thing. The last time you saw it, we put the last coat of filler on. We've gone ahead and sanded it, cleaned it up. I'll give it a blow off with this, and then I think we're ready to spray it. This is going to have to be a fairly time efficient thing because I don't want to leave it out here. It's kind of humid. I want to get it in. This is lacquer, so that's just air. Alright, well, doesn't much matter. Alright, so we put a couple of coats of finish on this last night, then this dried all night with the UV light on it to help it harden up a little bit faster. I'm working on sanding it, but Troy is working on getting the pick guard modified for our longer fret board. You can see it doesn't come all the way up. We kind of decided that it needed to be about 3/8 of an inch off of the end, and so then I measured where we were from the end to the pick guard and then subtracted my 3/8 of an inch. This is what we got. So this is what we should have to take off of here to get it to slide up all the way to the end. I'm leaving Troy in charge of marking that up.
And I can just write on this because it's got that protective.
Correct.
So I don't care if I go too far. What is this getting cut on?
I would use a bandsaw. So it's dry to the touch at this point, but it's still curing, and you can see we've got the UV light on it, so I'm not going to stand here for very long because it's not good for you. But we took all the tape off of it because we're done putting finish on it. I'm going to let it cure for at least a couple of days before we take any other steps with it. And we're really running out of time on this thing, so I'm probably going to work on it a little bit during the week, but we're going to let it set like this and try to totally cure for a little while. May as well point it out, we had a little bit of an oopsie here when we were taking the tape off. Troy decided it wasn't easy being him, and it kind of pulled up the finish. I think I can get that fixed once it's totally dry with just maybe a little bit of a drop fill and some sanding. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but Troy's not very happy. Oh well. So we'll see where we go from here. Well, the last clip you saw was last weekend. It is now Thursday, and this has to be done because Troy is leaving for California on Sunday. So this is it. This is our last push to get this going. I worked on this a little bit during the week, worked on the fret work, worked on the finish a little bit. It still needs a little bit more work. We got some holes to drill, and then I think we're trying to get as far as we can get. Really, we got to get done. So we'll get going, and I'll bring you along for what we do. So you can see Troy's sanding on the neck just a little bit. We've also got 6 marks for screws for the tuners. They were just in. I marked all where the holes go. We had them all lined up with the ruler. Now I've got the 1/16 of an inch drill bit, and I'm going to drill these holes and drill them straight somehow. That would work a lot easier. Thank you, Troy. Alright, there we go. 6 tuners. 6 holes, no more, no less. So we've been working as much as we can, as fast as we can on getting everything installed. You can see we've got the 2 pots installed, and we've actually got the pickup wired to the pots. The thing I'm going to do now is wire a ground from the pickup, which will go into the post hole so that the bridge is grounded. And you might be wondering why there's a 3-way fan light switch sitting here. Well, we didn't have any extra wire, and we didn't really want to use any of Jerry's, so we went to Menards, and the smallest coil of wire was like $16.
Yep.
So we weren't about to spend $16 on a coil of wire when we only need about 3 inches. And this switch was $3. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this and I'm gonna cut off the black wire and hope that it's enough. And we're gonna use it as a ground for the bridge. So, you know, you make do with what you can find.
It ain't from Stumac, but it'll work. Can we get sponsored by Ceiling Blade replacement switches?
I think you got a thing with Stumac. I think Stumac should start selling these.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's enough. This is not going to be good for anything else because I'm going to cut it off right here. That's on the floor now, so it's as good as gone. So I've got all the string spacing marked on the nut, and I'm starting with the little fretting saw to get the marks made. And then I'll come back with the actual files. I found what helps is to push it against my fingernail so it doesn't move left to right. We're jumping around an awful lot, but we're really just trying to get this together as fast as we can. I think we're going to put the pick guard on now. You can see we've made some modifications to this pick guard, but it's looking good. I think it looks really good. As a matter of fact, you probably couldn't tell that the factory didn't make it that way for this guitar. We're going to put it on. Is that where it goes? There's no...
There's not really any play, it's just up
Okay,
against...
so I'm going to go ahead and just... So the one other thing that I haven't shown yet, but it is on here, is I laser etched the back of the pick guard. It says Troy Burst, Caleb Mills, May 2021. That's now, but not for many days.
No.
So 2 of these screws match perfectly, but one of them is shorter. I'll point it out so that nobody goes, those don't match. And the reason that is it improves the tone of the guitar. And if you don't believe me, prove me wrong. We are just about ready to string this up, actually. I've got a set of strings here. This was given to us at Rosa String Works, but I cannot remember who sent them. So free strings are free strings. Thank you, whoever sent these. Well, to be honest with you, we didn't get it finished in time. It's been a huge gap in between the last clip and this clip. I've done a lot of work. Everything on this fought us the whole way. As we were setting this up, when Troy was here, as we were setting this up, we got the tuners on it, and we had thickness to this headstock to the tuners to make sure that they would fit all the way through. What we didn't account for was the washers on the tuners. So the headstock ended up being a little thick, and the tuners weren't sticking out very far. Luckily, a good viewer friend on the Rosa Stringworks channel, Eddie, had left me with a package of tuners that had thinner washers. So these washers aren't actually from these tuners, but they fit. So on the StewMac website, when you look at this bridge, the reviews for it will tell you that it's too tall. They're correct. So we followed the neck angle on the plans for the 57 Les Paul Jr. and that would have been great for a regular wraparound tailpiece, which comes on the regular 57 Les Paul Jr. But for this adjustable saddle to make it intonate properly, it's too tall. So I didn't have enough neck angle. So we had to modify this bridge a little bit to get it to come down a little bit further. Now it's sitting down pretty good. The one thing I had to do just recently, and you'll see this right here, is I took down a little bit more on the neck. It was just a little bit wide still right here. Nowhere else. It's good all the way up the neck except for right around the first 3 frets. And I thinned it down a little bit, and then I had to make a new nut for it because the old one was too wide. The strings were kind of falling off the ends. But it is finally done. All the problems I had in the last 2 weeks or so, between this fighting me and I got sick for a little while, I'm real sorry on the delay on this last part. I will go ahead and play this for you now, just a little bit. I've not got a good setup for this. It's just Jerry's little amp in the shop. There will be one more part to this, the follow-up video where Troy actually gets his hands on this, because at this point he's already gone out to California. I'm going to have to send this to him and get some video from him with him playing it. But for now, I'm going to just do a little sound test for you with Jerry's little amp. This is all the way up, tone and volume. But this got a lot of play in the sound. You can lower the tone a little bit and the volume just a touch and get a lot cleaner sounds. Because I know that this amp tends to overdrive the camera a lot, so it may not be coming across clean at all right now. Hopefully I'll get a good setup so that you can kind of hear it a little bit more direct. Either I'll mic an amp or I'll run it direct into an interface. For now, this is what you're getting. For the end of this video, that's what we're getting at least. I'm really happy with this. It feels really good. One thing I'm really happy with on this, and it's kind of a little thing, is this recessed jack plate. I think it turned out really good. And I've not really seen a whole lot of people do that, but it feels really good. I'm really happy with the way it looks. You can still feel the jack because it sticks out of the plate, but the plate itself is nearly flush. I think it's really cool, that addition. Beyond that, I don't know if I showed the truss rod cover. It's mahogany. There's the back, but there's nothing going on there. So I hope you enjoyed watching this build. Eventually I got it all finished. There'll be one more part to this guitar that'll be sending it to Troy and him getting his hands on it. Hopefully I'll get that out soon. Actually, hopefully I'll get this video edited soon. It should be out like in 2 or 3 days from the time of me filming this. Hopefully everything goes well with that. Thanks for watching.